I'm inside and I saw Star Trek the original series Journey to Babel. It is directed by Joseph Penvey, written by DC Fontana. And if you haven't seen this episode, I will spoil it for you. This episode starts and we're following the USS Enterprise, and they have a lot of ambassadors. They're all going to this conference, and they're doing a little conference thing, and they're all at the Enterprise, and they're doing a little convene. But what's interesting is that there's a bunch of murders. There's a murder of an ambassador, and then another murder of an ambassador. There's something weird and fishy happening, and I'm like, what's happening here? This is the first episode where we meet Spock's dad, and oh boy does he look like Spock. We also meet Spock's mother, and Spock's mother is a human. It's a human. I was looking at a hawk flying over me. You ever look at birds that fly above you and you're like, oh, please don't open your cloaca on me. Please don't do that. That's like my greatest fear whenever birds are flying up ahead. But that's not pertaining to Star Trek. What is pertaining to Star Trek is we have Spock's dad is here, and he has like this rare disease, and only Spock can be used really goodly to use his blood. He can only use Spock, and Spock's like, all right, I gotta give you my blood. And also what's interesting is Kirk comes out of commission as a captain because someone stabs him and he has to sit in sick bay, and so Spock has to be the guy who does the leading. But Spock is like, but I have to do my duties as an officer to the Starfleet. You know, I have to tend to the starship. I can't be concerned at all with my father's life. And we have McCoy's like, but, and also his mother. They're like, but dude, he's your father. You have to help him. You have to save him. And Spock's like, that is not the logical thing to do. If we have a captain here, he's out of commission. I am the one who must be next in charge, and I must not at any point give up my position based on what is happening. We have some murders, some attempted murders on ship. I have to be remaining in command. I like how Kirk goes around this, though. Kirk's like, well, I'm still like bleeding and injuring, but I'm gonna go on the bridge and I'm going to take over command again. Hey Spock, go to sickbay right now. Go there right now. Do it right now. And it takes him a little bit of hesitancy, but he does go there, and then they start the blood transfusion surgery. And what's interesting is that there's also this ship. It sounds like that. Actually, in space, no one can hear you scream, so will this spaceship have any space sounds in space? I don't know. Anyway, so we had a little bit of a ship that's like just out of range enough for the Enterprise not to be able to defend themselves against it, but it's like there, and it's shooting stuff at the Enterprise. And we have Spock is in the middle of a blood thing, giving blood to his father. Well, it just keeps on. The ship just goes. And I'm like, oh, that'd be hard as a surgeon. McCoy, I believe in you, but please don't accidentally rip Spock's insides, please, or Spock's dad's insides, please and thank you. I like Spock, actually. I like you and Spock an equal amount, actually. But, you know, if Spock died, I'd be sad. Please don't let Spock die, McCoy. Oh, and it happens again. It keeps happening. It's fun. So we're trying to find who the friggity frick is causing the ship to go tail on the Enterprise. We found it's a guy who had a fake antenna. He had like some sort of transmission thing in his antennae, and it stopped the ship go because it was real close to the shields being out. It was real close, but not quite enough. I was like, why do you want to destroy the ship with all these peace ambassadors? Oh, because of politics. I get it. Political move. You see all these people here, they're all ambassadors, they're all very important people, they're all here to talk space treaties and all that fun jazz, and then we got some folks who like, I don't like that at all. I don't like these guys talking to the other people. Let's just murder them all. And it seems like that's what this guy's plan was. I do like the red herring in this episode though. There's like these species of pig-like creatures that are incredibly crass. And they say everything with, I'd say they're like violent words, but words aren't violent inherently. I'd say aggressive words, an aggressive tone, and very insulting in the way that they speak. And then there's like this other species that is kind of more chill and cold, and they're like, yeah, whatever, dude, what are you doing? And it seems like those two species get into fights a lot, and I was like, oh, it must be like this guy, these pig dudes, you know, they must be doing the murders, but they're actually not. They're just here to be transported to a conference. Yeah, let's just transfer everybody to a conference. That's pretty cool. Let's do it on the USS Enterprise. Nothing will go wrong. This freaking ship is being followed. I'm glad they destroyed it though. That would have been a big problem. Do you want to know why they even want to shoot the Enterprise? Well, the Orions, they got a big old hold of this planet that has a bunch of dilithium crystals, and they don't want this particular planet to be part of the Federation, because then they don't have a control over the crystals, and so they want to weaken the USS Enterprise and weaken the Federation, and so they can have their control over the dilithium crystals and be able to still sell them. That's nice. But I'm glad they foiled this plan, because I don't know, would that be a monopoly? I guess whatever the Federation is doing now would also be a monopoly. I don't know. I don't know anything about economics. Anyway, so this episode is fine, handy dandy. It ends in a loving as you can get, exchange between Spock and his father. Spock likes his father. His father is proud of him. And it seems like we're now having a chill time. We're just going to be taking these guys to the conference. We have figured out what's happening here. And it's because there's a ship that is interested in money purposes, actually. Money! It's all about that money, money, money. It'll make the world change. It'll make the world change. I forget what that song is called, but whatever. So anyway, this is a fun episode. I liked how much stuff was happening all at once. It all like melded together, and it all came out together. It was like a kind of interweaving vine that at the end all came apart and was easily being able to tell what's happening in this episode. There's a lot that happened in this episode. I like how Kirk handled it. I like seeing Kirk handle being almost attempted murdered. I thought that was cool. Oh yeah, and the episode ends, we have Kirk and Spock are both in bed. And because Kirk gave command to somebody else, they're now both in sick bay, and Bones is like, shut up! Now I know what it's like to have the last word. And I'm like, nice! Good one, Bones. I'm proud of you. So, I gotta give this episode's like a solid 8. It's like an 8.2 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one the platform really likes that. If you want a fast track a movie review, you can do that for $20 deals at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if it helps for daily grindiness of all them daily movies, go to this link tree, find the way you can help support the daily grind of all them daily movies. So go here. And until next time, in South Sauce, see you later, bye. Sour croutons and bacon bits. Boop. Beam me up.